Maybe you've heard of the classic Nintendo NES that's coming out soon. It's actually not the only retro console on the market. There are two more. So we'll start with this one. This is the Atari Flashback 7. This is out very soon. It's $50 and it's made by AT Games.
I don't know why they call it an Atari Flashback 7 because it's got 101 games in there.
That's right.
Unfortunately, they're all old Atari games for grandpa dudes.
Yeah.
But this is gorgeous. Like, this is a really cute little thing. These feel like totally legit Atari controllers, and they're wireless. Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, so this is really cool. They actually went back with the original sort of fake wood finish. It looks like a little console. So again, if you grew up with the NES, then yeah, the classic NES is all yours. But this thing is for people who are a little bit older. I actually never had one of these despite the age in my face, but my neighbor did, and there's some of my first video games I ever played were in here. Max, let's read off some of the, how many 101 titles in this game? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got Adventure.
Yeah.
And Adventure 2.
Yep, which is sort of the original take on Zelda.
It's got Combat.
Yep.
I love it back then that game genres were just
you just named it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, it was like action, pinball.
And there's even Aquaventure.
Yep.
Which is like an aquatic adventure. There's Combat, Combat 2, Crystal Castles, Demons to Diamonds, Desert Falcons, Dodge 'em, Double Dunk. There's a lot of them. There's Polaris, Outlaw. I just like reading these. They make me feel good. Missile Command, Saboteur. Yeah, so a bunch of old Atari games. I'll be honest, I know that a lot of people really appreciate the kind of, nostalgia of Atari games if they grew up with them or just on some retro level. I honestly cannot stand playing them. They're just too kind of technically limited.
Really?
I appreciate them. I love the box art. I think the box art's amazing, but as far as them being fun games, I'll play old arcade games and be I get it, but Atari was always kind of down-res versions of arcade games.
Well, I think stuff like Frogger holds up. I think stuff like Centipede holds up. But if you need a little more graphics and bits because you're one of those guys, we've got something that's a little bit more up your alley.
There we go.
Which is the Sega Genesis Classic game console. This has 80 built-in games, obviously focusing heavily on characters like Sonic the Hedgehog and Tails. So let's open this one up. This is actually really cool too. Again, wireless controllers.
Yep.
Which is really, really novel to see in just a wireless controller in 2016. The classic NES by Nintendo doesn't even have that. And here's the console itself. Interesting thing to note here, this has a cartridge slot. So this will play your Genesis games, including that Sonic the Hedgehog going into Sonic and Knuckles, going into Sonic, that whole stack with the Game Gear and all that.
We haven't actually tested it out yet, but that's really cool that they're just hey, if you want to play other Genesis games, you can. Now this says it has 80 games in it.
Yep.
Only 36 of them are Genesis games, but there's some really cool ones. Some of my actual personal favorites, Kid Chameleon, who I've modeled my entire life after. I like to go and put on mysterious hats that take me to another time and place with my big hair. They got Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
Golden Axe 1, 2, and 3.
With blood.
Yes.
Alien Storm, which was actually, it's basically just Golden Axe meets Aliens.
Yep.
That was actually the first Genesis game I played. I remember being so stoked on it. They've got Altered Beast, if you want to enjoy that Grecian bathhouse adventure.
Vector Man 1 and 2, which...
Those are fun as hell.
Yeah, totally.
And one of my personal favorites, which is basically non-violent Mortal Kombat for dumb people, Eternal Champions. I love Eternal Champions. That's one of my favorite, one of my favorite games from when I was a kid. It's one of those things I just liked it. That's a fighting game from people throughout time and space.
Yep.
The Eternal Champions, if you will. But there's a caveman. There's an Atlantean fish man.
Did you play Comic Zone?
I never did.
Okay, I think you'd really like that.
Yeah, no, I've always played for minutes, but not
Yeah.
But that was a cool when you just jump around the comic.
It's
panels.
also got Shinobi 3, which is I think my favorite one. It's very, very cool set. So weird thing about this is there's actually a bunch of other games they threw in here that are sort of kind of weird generic video games like Bomber and Ice Hockey.
Mr. Balls.
Yeah.
Jack's P.
Jack's
Checker. Not Checkers, just one of them.
Yeah.
Flash Memory.
So these are out very soon, and they are $49.99 each. You can actually get one of them right here. I found on GameStop for $36.97.
Yeah, there's one on here called Dominant Amber. I think I dated her. Curling 2010. The future is here. 6 years ago.
So there's actually secretly, it's not just about the Wii U, the Xbox One, and the PS4 anymore. There's a console war happening this fall with 3 brand new retro consoles.
At your local Walgreens. Yeah, dude, I'm totally gonna pick this up.
Yeah, this is really cool.
Off your desk or whatever. I just want to play Eternal Champions. I want to play that cat burglar, Larson. He had a grappling hook.